All right, boy. I think we in the house tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GG Factor, man. I'm so excited every time I get on this microphone on a Tuesday night to inspire you, to empower you, to inform you, to educate you. And tonight, I'm so honored to have world famous, global. Everybody knows in South Florida, they know her everywhere she leaves up. Should I say her imprint? So, DJ Silk, how you doing, baby girl? What's up?
I'm doing amazing, Greg. I'm so honored to be here with you tonight, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful, fun conversation.
Hey, that's the bottom line, man, because you know something? Your story matters at the end of the day. That's the bottom line. So listen, the music stopped. That means I'm going to go all the way live with you. It won't be no, when I do stop it, I'm going to say to you that I just got to ask a simple question. It's just 3 little letters, Silk, and it's real simple. It goes like this. What is your why? Why DJ Silk? Why don't you, before we get too far into anything tonight, I always ask that every week. What made you decide I want to be a DJ? Let us know. The music stopped. I'm gonna lay back, sip my tea, and let you tell me all about that.
Well, how much time you got? But
hey, we ain't got nothing but time, you know. And I know at the end of the day, man, your story matters. I'm excited about it. You know, and I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, once you tell me your why, I want to tell you why you sitting on this microphone with me tonight, because you know you and I are a story. You know, right here in my house over 10 years ago. So I don't want to break the ice on that right now, but because I don't want to get ahead of myself, I'm going to ask the sister one more time, DJ Silk, what is your why?
Well, you know, just like you said, it's been a journey, and it's been a wonderful journey. I fell in love with music when I was a young girl back at Northwestern Senior High School. I was in the band and played the flute. And late night, I used to be up all night on Love 94, just listening, trying to learn how to improvise. And so I got really, really good at it. And you didn't know that. See, you didn't know.
No. I gotta stop you. I'm always the kind of guy that when I hear something that bing, bing, bing me, listen. You play flute, you know something? When I did my little Q&A thing, I said, I want to ask her, did she play an instrument? That's how God works. So you just disclosed that to me, and you said something. You know what? You and I talking about how long we've been in South Florida. You said Love 94.
Yes.
When you said Love 94 and I played the flute, I said, excuse me, I gotta stop her before she can get too far, because that means you are a native Floridian in South Florida, you know, and let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you, DJ Silk. I missed that Love 94.
I know, wasn't it amazing, man?
You know, so hey, I didn't mean to just abruptly, but But I just wanted to make sure that I understood. The sister never told me she was a real musician.
Oh, we
disclosed to the brother that, you know, hey, Greg, I play a little music too. That's all right, man. So all the way through, did you play all the way through high school?
Well, here's the thing: it gets more interesting. The fact that I fell in love with jazz music so much, I got out of the band, and there was a gentleman named Charlie Austin. You might know him, world renowned. He played around the world. But he actually came back to our high school to teach, and he convinced me to get in the jazz band. So I let marching band go and became a serious musician, which led to a scholarship to Xavier University in New Orleans. So I was on a full music scholarship, believe it or not. And
you're sneaky, Silk. I'm sorry. You're real sneaky, man. You know what, man? Maru, you hear this? She's sneaking all this good all these, and like they say, what the old guy Paul Harvey would say. And I'm gonna lean in and say, now the real story. She's letting us know why. You know something? It's innate in you. It's intrinsic in you. It's inherent in you. You got the full effect that's always present. Now I want to say a lot of DJs aren't musicians.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that with any negative connotation. No. I'm speaking truth that a lot of them just love the music. They get on the boards, they can scratch and do their thing. And hear me when I say, because you and I have done gigs together, I know what you're made of, you know, and it's an art to the madness. So but at the end of the day, when you find someone who's also a musician, you know, and can do what you're doing also, you've got something going on there that's super, should I say that? What I say, icing on the cake, baby girl. So, you know, now I'm glad you shared that with us. I knew there would be something that would break the ice tonight. She's telling them. So all of I bet a lot of people who just watching this tonight, they probably didn't know it.
Did not know it. They did not know it. And
well, listen, man, I want to say this to you. Thank you so very much, DJ Silk, you know, for just sharing that that etiology and your why. And what I want to share with people, since we're talking about this, is that I'm big about relationships. A good old friend of mine, his name is Simon T. Bailey. He wrote a book that I highly would advise anyone to go out and get. Shift Your Brilliance is called. And he spoke about something that's the epitome of you and I tonight. And because of my sister Ruby Baker, I got introduced to you. You know, we met at Bridget's, one of Bridget's functions. I remember the first time I met you, and I was watching you mix that night. I can't just say Bridget, I got to say Mrs. Tate. You know,
Dr. Bridget.
I got to say Kermit or Kim if I say Tate.
Correct. You might be on here. You better get it right.
I got to make sure I put things in the proper perspective. But
correct.
At the end of the day, here's my point. We met with Bridget and Kermit. You and I shot some words together. I say, hey, man, I'm thinking about doing something. And let's fast forward.
I remember.
That's been over 10 years ago. I had my 60th birthday party here. You came in and blew up the joint.
Blew it up, blew it up, blew it up.
Oh, boys, did you blow up the joint? And you know why you had to blow it up? They took us from the outside. The cops came to my house. We had too much fun on a Sunday night. Shut me down outside. You came in, and you know what? That was the best thing they could have done.
Right. Because we really went high up there.
Let me tell you something. When everybody hit that bar in the corner there, and you know, everybody already had their stomachs full, and I would never ever say thank you enough for making my 60th birthday phenomenal. And now let's fast forward from that night.
Yes.
Whoever would imagine, and this is the way God works, and this is the way the relationships work. When you're talking about Simon T. Bailey, I'm sorry to tell you that his book, Shift Your Brilliance, he made a quote that I will always, when I see someone like you, and I was just in a meeting yesterday about the same thing. Relationships will always be the new currency. Let nobody fool you. Relationships will always be the new currency. Yeah, you got to know and you got to do your thing, but you better know somebody, and somebody gonna knock on the door, and you're gonna knock on the door, and somebody gonna open the door. And honestly speaking, my sister Ruby Baker opened this door.
Yes,
she told me about the opportunity that what you do, how you do. I can still remember talking to her about, thinking about having a DJ, because I had Scott playing that sax out there on the pool area, and it was just a phenomenal evening. And I want to thank you even 11 years later. I love you for what you've done. And look what God did. I called you up one day and said, hey, how'd you like to come out to one of my clients' country club and let me see if I can introduce you?
Sure.
Well, you see, at the end of the day, this is my point, and I'm quantifying it right now. Right. You showed up, DJ Silk, and they have said nothing but rave reviews about you. So when I ask you about your why, I know why. Now, I want to ask you another question. It's very important about what we're talking about. You're a female, obviously, kicking and doing your thing. Correct. You're a black woman in South Florida, and you decide to say, now, I played flute. I did all this. I got my music thing going on. I decided I want to be a DJ, and I want to do it in South Florida. I mean, what transitioned you from being a musician playing flute to also to wake up one day? When was that pivot? When did you take that pivot and say, I want to do this DJ thing?
I'll be very honest with you. So I decided to purchase a controller. And this we talking about maybe about 20 years ago. My first little controller. Okay. And I would invite friends to my house to hear me play and play music. And they would just dance in my living room so hard till one day, one of them said to me,
see,
hey, I'll pay you to DJ my birthday.
Watch out now.
Right. I said, what? And baby, after that, I went and pressed me up some business cards. I was in the DJ streets. And so that fueled me. And then what continues to fuel me is the fact, kind of like what you said, building these relationships, starting with that one party, and the next person hired me, the next person hired me. I stayed consistent, with making sure I read the room, making sure I let my background in music guide me, because you have different cultures in South Florida. And when you're in a room, you don't want to leave out anyone. So I would play. I don't play just to one audience. I spread it around. And so my greatest compliment I get as a DJ is that you read the room and you play something for everybody. And people respect that because you can't just play, even though the client hires you, you have your responsibility to touch everybody in the room. So that's what continues to fuel me. The fact that the feedback you gave me, I'm so honored that you remembered in such detail what, how the vibe was for your 60th, because that's what's important to me. It's always important that the people, like you always say in all of your podcasts or presentations, I see you guys always talk about music being the universal language. It's the window to everything. It's
absolutely.
So knowing that, taking the responsibility to make sure when I'm playing that I'm looking at all the different lenses in the room, all the different worlds that are there, and keeping that consistent. And that's been very prosperous for me. So
now the next question regarding that, because it totally identifies with, when was that? What year was that? How long have you been doing this now?
Yeah, I was looking the other day at some notes I had, and it's been 20 years. It's been a little over 20 years, like since I hit the decks. Yes, and it's just gotten better and better, and I falling more and more in love with it. But I like I said, in my living room, and that's why I got my name. One of my friends gave me that name. They said, "Man, you smooth, D, you silk, baby." I said, "What?" So it's all organic, like you say. It's all relative. It's if you pay attention and stay present, the universe will teach you. It will show you. It will connect things.
Oh boy, let me tell you something. I knew you was gonna blow me up tonight. Let me tell you something. When you talk about things like that, I have to bring up my P3 theory, and I do. That is one of the main reasons why, aside from the fact that I knew you would come and bring your story, you are living with passion, you're living with purpose, and you just said you knocked on the door to the universe, and it answered DJ Silk. It answered you, and the way that it happened for you, it was divine order. You sitting in your home, you just having fun with people. Let me tell you something, man. When you know it's your passion,
yes.
I talk about this on matter of fact, I might as well do an unconditional plug every Thursday night for the masterclass. If you're searching for that place where you can monetize your passion, then you need to come out. But speaking of that, I might as well make the announcement. Yeah. I'm not doing it Thursday because I really want to say, neither one of us said that. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
No doubt, but tomorrow night, because it's going to be Thursday Thanksgiving, I'm going to do the Strive Masterclass. And I'm going to make sure that people understand that every week my mission has been to do the same thing I do in a different manner, is to micromanage people. My books are behind me. Here are my books right here. And if you come into my Get Activated community, I got a real all the way to the end of your special going. It's only $49.99. If you look in the comments there, you'll find my link. It'll take you right to the Stripe page. All you do is hit that link, you're in. And if you can't get in there that way, the activator.net is definitely where you can get anything that you would need. But that Stripe link is right there on the screen. All you got to do is click it. Now, that's my Get Activated community. I also have my 30 days tuning you maximum potential coaching. So because you mentioned it tonight, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. I want to let people know that when I have a guest like you on my show, and you're in the entertainment business, and we're in the entertainment business.
Correct.
I've had a function where we got together and went and did that was about 4 or 5 years ago that we did that private party together.
Right.
And people called us up from that. And I mean, Irma, remember Irma Knighton?
Absolutely. Yes.
So at the end of the day, I started thinking about you. Here's the point I want to make about everything that we're talking about. You said you started in your living room. I started with my sister just playing around Tampa, Florida the same way. Ruby Baker was 12 years old. I was 16 years old, and I love music so much. I always give a shout out to my brother, Nelson Griffith. When I was 6 years old, my brother went away to college. And he went to Florida A&M University, and I said to myself, I'm going to go to Florida A&M University. My brother played trumpet in the Marching 100, and when he came home, left college, and gave me his trumpet, that was icing on the cake. And guess what? I went to FAMU. I played trumpet in the Marching 100. My brother was a retired math teacher. I'm a retired ESE teacher. I'm here to tell you, I never met my biological father, but my Father in heaven was with me and sent my brother to be there for me. And I give all glory to God for him every day. His son Narelle was on the show last week, and he said something to me that and I think it's profound for me to acknowledge it because it's good for you and I right now.
Yes.
We all have an obligation to leave something that I would always say, my sister gave me the shirt, my other sister, Linda Baker, determined to leave your legacy.
Yes.
That somebody can say, man, Greg Griffith did that. And when his son, my nephew, say, Uncle G, man, we've been watching you for years. When you start buying all them houses and you bought this and you bought that, and then one day you came home, you had bought a new Mercedes, and everybody said, well, I already know what I'm going to do because Uncle G showing me what he's doing. And you know something? It just touched me, man. And I told him, thank you. And not no bragging rights here or nothing like that. When you got an intellectual property and you go out there with a passion and you monetize it, and then all of a sudden someone else is watching you. Even my son Jonathan's cousin, who's now a real estate mogul. He sat down with me. We went to dinner. He said, I started buying real estate because of you. I decided I want to be an entrepreneur because of you. So somebody you around, I know you influencing is going to want to be a DJ. Somebody you around right now, I bet you somebody going to see, boy, I love what Silk doing. I'm going to do this. She's showing me that here's the kicker. She can monetize it.
Yes, absolutely. And to your point, that was just beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
I just want to let people know that, and I may say it 15 times, your story matters, and you never know who you are impacting. And until Narelle told me that, until my son's cousin came home and told me that, and I said to him, man, well, thank you, man. I said, and let's face it, when you got a bug like that and it's a passion behind it, you've done what they say a bamboo tree does. You planted some roots. You put some seeds that become roots that, you know what?
That's right.
10 years from now, and if I can still get up and go play a job and somebody hand me a paycheck and I can still do it, whether I become a superstar or not, I'm going to enjoy the moment because I do forget that I get a paycheck.
Correct. I love it.
Of course, you have things about the business, but when I'm in performance mode and I'm just doing my thing, man. Man, that's God saying, I got you.
I got you. Exactly.
I was with you, man. When I see you doing your thing, and I hear you, I say, boy, I got it. And you know how long I've been trying to get you on this show.
I know. That's right.
It's been all shy girl. I said, what's she trying to play like she's shy all about? Come on up here and let somebody know. So let me ask you another question, because we got to talk about this in a very realistic manner.
Yeah.
You started 20 years ago. Now, you got to tell somebody about the highs and the lows about this. I always tell people, you got some highs. I'm sure you had some times and you had some doubt and you thought maybe, well, when was the first roadblock for you, first of all, being a female saying, I want to be a DJ? You got to tell some. I know you had some episodes. I'm sure somebody was kind of not taking you for serious about what you want to do. So can you disclose to us that, there are going to be highs and we're going to have the lows in the valley, but disclose that for me, please.
Well, I just want to share that I had to really own my value. Because being a female DJ and wanting to just play, see, the passion sometimes can get in front of your value. And what I mean by that is, you're just so eager to, because this is what you love doing, but then you wake up and like, wait a minute, I'm worth more than what I'm, going out for or whatever. Exactly. So I know you got a lot to say about this one.
No, I'm listening to you and you speaking truth. You say, I got to monetize this thing.
Got to monetize. And you can't be afraid to ask your price. Because I learned, someone shared this quote with me. My prices do not reflect your budget. It reflects my value. So because a lot of times people, well, my budget is this. That don't concern me, because once you know your value, and people respect that. And every opportunity is not your opportunity. You can't just be eager to play in front of crowds. And that's where I've gotten to that point. I'm okay letting gigs go, because guess what? this just happened to me the other day. You know, I set my price. The people went with someone else. And in that same week, somebody else contacted me for that same date and paid me what I was worth. So imagine if I had accepted, you know, lesser. You know, it's not always about the money, but at the end of the day, it's your value. So I would say to your point that that was my struggle early on, but now I'm totally fine with, maybe I'm not your DJ for that event because of the fact that I know my value. And I know when I get in that room, I'm going to read your crowd. I'm going to actually please your clients. I mean, your whoever your guests. And I know you're going to be pleased with me. And that's how I get repeat customers. Because you know, and I know recent you're doing business and stuff. And I thank you so much for advocating for me and putting me in front of different clients, and it's been wonderful. But you know, they'll go with another DJ, but they not me, and that's not being arrogant, and they come back. So I get so much repeat business that confirms that what I'm doing is pleasing to the
works.
It works.
It works, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of funny we're talking about this because you know, I concur with you because I'm speaking from a perspective as entertainers now, as people who are in show business.
Correct.
You know, and let me tell you who was just sitting on his podcast the other day that's very relevant to this conversation was Denzel Washington. And he was speaking about this with TD Jakes.
Oh, wow.
And he said the very thing I concur with you, know your value. He said it, just know your value, know that you have a place out here that your light can shine, and no matter what. And he said that too. He said you gotta know your value and you gotta stand in it.
You gotta stand in it.
And to this day, you know, I came here, left an original band I did a couple of recording contracts with. I decided that I wanted to come to South Florida. I wanted to start all over again. And I went through, the reason I'm bringing it up to you because I went through it just being a black man in this town as a band leader.
Imagine.
Let me tell you something. I don't even want to get deep about it, but it was enough that it put me in the valley of moment. I almost let them win the game. And at one point, I finally realized that's the nature of this business, but it ain't going to stop me because I know my value and I know what I'm doing matters. And here it is right now. Let's fast forward. When I had that band, Tessie Porter was my singer. Guess who working with me New Year's Eve this year?
Oh,
Tessie Porter.
Wow.
Relationships. You hear me now? You see what I'm saying? And I remember when I met her just like I met you, and she was just somebody just singing around Miami. And I said, that girl got it. I said, she got it. Rachel Brown came here. He still works with me every year. Everywhere I go, we guess what? We meeting with somebody, and this is all relevant to this conversation. We did a gig in New York City some years ago. The people come down here every year. They just called me up out of the blue the other day in the same situation.
Wow.
The same way with my New Year's Eve gig has stopped. So a man called me up who's been an agent for all of these years, Freddie Montiel. I'm not going to say a man. I'm going to say FJM Productions because Freddie Montiel had booked me for years. And out of nowhere, God said, I got you.
I love it.
I'm looking around for singers. Rachel had already got her a big corporate job. But I always tell her, if somebody offers you way more than I can, I'll find another singer. And Rachel got a job. She said, and then another young lady she thought I could get couldn't. And I said, no, I know who somebody gonna be. And surely enough, I call up Tessie.
Wow.
Boom. And Freddie knows her. And it comes full circle, DJ. So about tonight. I want people to understand that we're sitting here talking about our passions. We're sitting here talking about our purpose that we've acknowledged to the universe and it's paying us. So all I say to you is this, is that I'm glad you disclosed that you go right back to the main point. You stand in your value, even as a female, even as a DJ in a small kind of market where they give you a hard time, you have a hard time there. So I'm looking at the questions that I had to you that was one of the main one. What was the thing that really was your icebreaker? How did you get past it? When did you start realizing your value, what matters for you? Now, if you had a choice right now to go out and do a gig, you know, because I know you do clubs, you do private parties, you do all kinds of stuff. If you had a choice right now, if somebody say, well, I want you to just do these kind of gigs, what would be the one for you? What would you love to do most as a DJ?
Wow, that's a interesting question. You know, I'm gonna try to narrow it down. Because what drives me is, you know, performing. It's not even about the crowd. It's not about the venue. It's performing, doing my best, and making sure that everybody in that room is having a good time, a great time. So whether it's at a wedding, whether it's in a club, whether it's a private party, I do a lot of those, a lot of private parties. I do a lot of corporate, but the key is to make sure everybody having a great time. It's hard for me to narrow it down to a particular.
You know where you've been having the most fun. You trying to hide it. Now you know where when you get up there and you say, "Oh boy, this is it." If they call me for this one every week, this would be the icing on the cake. So I'm sure you had. If I could go do right now, all I had to do was do concerts.
Right.
Of all the weddings, private parties, all I had to do and do my music.
Oh, that's what
you like right now.
Got you.
I'll tell you right now. I would say I will go out and do it right now.
Oh, wow.
And without a doubt, you know. So yeah, but my point is, you narrow it down, and I will never ever forget that when I opened for Marvin Gaye.
Oh wow!
I won't forget that. I won't forget that feeling that we opened for Marvin Gaye, and I'm standing up playing all the music we wrote.
Nice.
You know, and and I'm sure you've had a moment where you got a mix. And you put that thing together, and you looked up, and everybody was, hey, you know, and I was it a wedding? Was it a nightclub gig? Was it a private party?
Well, you know, I will tell you, if I could play consistently in a nightclub where I'm drawing the crowd, that would be great, because when I play in a nightclub, usually I get hired by a client. My sorority hires me a lot. I love my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Shout out to them. They love me, I love them, and a lot of times through them I get to play in different club venues around the Dade and Broward, and it's nothing like that sound system in a club, and all I do is come plug in my controller, that sound system. But like you said, when you look out there, you see, you like, I'm rocking a club, this is awesome. Now I tell you, I don't play in clubs all the time, because you know, if we could be transparent and honest, you know, sometimes the venues, you know, because there's so many DJs, and yes, rare to find a female DJ, because so many DJs, you know, they tend to want to play you all night for a minimum amount. And so
lowball, let's just say they want to lowball you.
Because if you don't take it, somebody else will. And you know, you know, all night. I get offered all the time. I ain't want to name the venue. Come play here. What's the budget? I mean, how much is, you know, here's what I need. Oh, whoa, well, we usually play this. And I'm like, so to answer your question, I would love to be playing a club, because the sound system is big. And every time I'm there, it's like, you know, wow, this music is pumping and the people are pumping. But it's intimate. Yeah. But I love corporate events too, that when there's ultimately I play their music throughout their program, and then at the end it's a big dance party. I love that. I play for a lot of
you can't beat those. They're the best.
Yeah. So I mean, all of them, but like you said, it's nothing about that club.
I wasn't putting you on the spot, but I know that there have been obviously some environments ignite more energy than others. And now, speaking of that right now, because it's very relevant to this conversation, from the perspective of original mixing, and have you ever worked and done any studio mixes for an artist? Have you ever worked in any capacity like that, where you know, like a DJ Khaled type thing, where you get in and kind of co-produce with somebody and they're using you for a mix? Or have you had any of those experiences as far as your business and what you do?
I haven't, and I would love to. So anybody out there listening has a connection and would love for me to do such a thing, that would be wonderful. I haven't had the opportunity. I've opened up for a major artist before. I will say that. Dougie Fresh, actually. Once I had opportunity to play for a woman's birthday party, and she had a huge, nice budget. And she had heard me play somewhere, and she said, I want you as my DJ. And she said that I got to tell you who's my artist, who's the main guy I hired to rock the party all night. You're going to open up for him. And when she told me it was Dougie Fresh, I was like, whoa. So I got to meet him. He enjoyed and stuff, and gave me a shout out and everything. But as far as, so I appreciate it. That was fun. But I appreciate it. But but no studio work for me. No studio work.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, at the end of the day, the reason why I'm saying that, because you got such a style about you, And even if you did a compilation and a mix, because I was every now and then I'll turn on Hot 105 and is it DJ Skull? That sucker, man. He would jump into like a 10 or 15 minute movement with boy, and that's when you, as a musician, recognize his art.
Yeah.
That's when somebody mixing like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, and it's nonstop.
I know him. He puts
live radio, and this man was transition. You know, sometimes they're better than others. Like my old school partner, Chico the Virgo. I called him one Sunday.
Yeah.
And Chico was just mixing all that old school good stuff. And I had to call him and say, hey man, you own it.
Right.
You own it and you own it.
You know, and it's like you said, Greg, so many levels to the creativity of DJing now. And so it's not just simply putting two songs together. They call these things called blends. And so like what Scar does, I know him, he's really good at blends, you know. So for instance, you know, you playing one song before you know he done slid another one in there so easily but he's still playing the same song, you know. And so that like an old school Stevie Wonder song, he blend with something new with like a let me see what I can use. Anybody, T.I., anybody. But what is so wonderful like about DJ? You see my mix board back there. You know, I just got that baby. And that baby right there is really high tech. And that thing lets you do so much more creativity. I'm still figuring it out. But
that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, but in any craft that you're doing, anything that you're doing, and I know there's people listening right now in different facets, but like Greg and I are sharing tonight, you know, whatever you're doing, you got to practice your craft. You got to stay on top of what current trends are, and you got to look for new opportunities. And so, Greg, thank you for opening my eyes. I'll look into.
Hey, let me tell you something. I will be nothing but just honored to say right now, one day down the road, DJ Silk found a compilation that she jumped on. DJ Silk found somebody wanted her to come in and do a special mix. And you know, all you can do is put yourself out there. And you know what I love about what we're doing tonight, and I knew it would be this kind of conversation because we're speaking from you know, ace together. You and I, we are in this industry. You're DJing, I'm performing, I'm producing, you know, live productions. I'm wherever I go right now. I'm post-retired, you know, out of the school system. And I had a meeting yesterday about the same thing we're talking about. Someone, when I decided to retire, saw me do a free event because I knew I was going to not see these kids anymore. And I just wanted to go hang out with them. An organization called Best Buddies.
Oh, love it.
And I had no idea this sister, this Black woman was in the audience, who happened to be the director of all of the Best Buddy organizations in the state of Florida.
Wow.
She walked up to me. She said, boy, you got those kids going. Can you come to my office next week and we can, and the next thing you know, I'm doing the gala for them. And they made me the MC, which I had never done in my life. I'm talking about a real MC for an auction.
Amazing.
She told me, now I'll send you to Orlando, all expenses paid. I want you to go watch this guy because I already know you can do it because I see what you just done. And to come full circle, to sit down with her yesterday and have the meeting is so relevant to this because I'm so passionate about just having fun and enjoying the moment when it comes to my music, man. When it comes to my speaking to people and empowering, inspiring them. So speaking of that, I'm gonna give another plug that tomorrow night is my master class. I won't sit here I can't believe, man, we've been at this thing 35 minutes like it ain't nothing to. I told you to be a blank. I told you to look up and so I'm gonna tell people at the end of the day, I'm gonna hold up one of my medals and I always do every week.
Oh, wow.
I was at my church Sunday, and I held this medal up in front of the Encounter Empowerment Group at New Mount Olive Baptist Church. And when I said to those kids that I ran one of these when I was 42, and I ran 10 of these, I want to get this correct. In 10 years, I ran 20 of these marathons. This is one of my marathon medals. And people ask me, how do you do it? And I say to them, come to my master class. Come into my mind, body, and spirit master class. Silk comes on every other week. Every now and then I see you pop in. I appreciate you. A matter of fact, one of my mentees, Brandon, was there as a member at the church. But my point to people is this. I remember when I couldn't run a mile.
Oh, wow.
These 2 books behind me, you never could have told me I'd be an author. Both of them were done years ago. And when I decided to re-release Activate or Stagnate, and to be out there, like I was just giving an example, talking about what I do to people, empowering them, inspiring them, and to look up and know I can re-release this book. I can share my story about what I'm doing, that my intellectual properties become yours is my point. If you've never, you don't have to run a marathon, but you need to be passionate about your physical body. Your health is your wealth, and I can help you with that. If you got something that you know you can monetize, it may not, you might want to get your first restaurant. You may want to open your digital platform on social media. You may want to do something that you've never done to be something you've never been. And when it's passion, one thing that will always stop you, and as soon as I held this up and said that to these kids, and I told them I was 42 years old when I done it, and that the fear monster of me not doing it, I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm sure you've been there before in your early etiologies of what you're doing, but you got to feel the fear and get the job done anyway. The Scribe Masterclass is about that. In mind, body, and spirit, you find balance, you find success. And I can strategically put you on the right path to it. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, to all the listeners and viewers out there, it's theactivator.net. Just click right in there to that Zoom and you come right on in. And honestly speaking, that's free. And if you come in and decide you do want to come to the camp, you get a copy of my book. And that alone is $25.99. So all I say to you is this unconditional plug every Thursday night. But this week, once again, we're both going to say happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm doing a pre-Thanksgiving. And tomorrow night is, guess what it's all about? It's about gratitude.
Ooh, that's one of my favorite words.
When you got a gift and your gift is taking care of you and you finally monetize it, don't forget to be grateful. My wife started a little program years ago, and I got one of the pillowcases right upstairs in my bedroom. It says, I'm grateful for. And every time I go to bed, I pick up that pillowcase and I look at it. Thank you, Father. You got me through another day.
Man, that's right.
And I don't have my God first hat here. I usually slip my little hat on right about now when I'm speaking about the spirit in me. But the point I want to make to people is this. You have to determine, you have to decide that there's a path for you. Michelle Obama said it to Oprah Winfrey, your story matters. That's my job on Thursday nights, but I'm going to say tomorrow because it's Wednesday night, that I want to be the one that can inspire and empower people to activate their true identity, to define themselves. Because when you finally decide to do that, and that's another thing, piggyback off Denzel Washington. He was saying, hey, man, it ain't about all the highs I had. It was the times when I had to go in the valley and realize that I still have value. It was the times I had to have the lows of my life and still say, I can get through this. What I'm sitting here doing right now, if it wasn't for one of my mentors, I probably wouldn't have a YouTube show right now. If it wasn't for one of my mentors, I probably wouldn't have the kind of things that I'm doing right now because they feel, oh, can I do it? I've never done it. And let me tell you something. Right after my PowerPoint, big word, F-E-A-R, right behind it. I do it small too. I see, but if you got enough faith left of mustard seed.
Mustard seed. That's right.
The word faith comes right behind fear. And to whoever's watching tonight, I know there's that book you might want to write. Maybe there's your first marathon. Maybe you just might want to just start to be an avid swimmer. Or you may want to be a better basketball player. Or you might want to just cross train. But at the end of the day, I'm 71 years old. I feel great. I don't care ever about telling people my age. It doesn't even bother me because I know in spirit there's only maturity. And tonight I got you looking like I don't even know your age. Every time I look at you, you're looking the same, whatever you're doing. So come on out tomorrow night. You know, all I want to say is this: that you get a free consultation with me. If you come out, you want the first 6 people come on the Zoom, or just DM the word Scribe on Instagram, and you got me. That's all I can say. And now I want to get back to you tonight before we wrap this thing up. I want to understand one thing about everything that we talk about tonight. You're a woman in this business. You said that I can do this against all odds. And you said no matter what happens, I'm going to keep doing it. And you kept doing it. Now, there's a new thing out here now that people are dealing with. Because I got to talk about technology a little bit with you. Because it was one of the questions I say now, how has the advent of the technology helped or hindered you in terms of, say, like AI? With they had Gayle King had a young lady on her program on CBS this morning the other day. This lady took AI and created an entire song. I mean, the look of the woman, the voice of the woman. She went on and got tracks like something and put them all together. And guess what? If nobody didn't tell you that that's the way that this was all techno, boy, look, listen to me, Silk. She was on it. And the girl, and and Gail was trying to defend what probably Joe Public does. So my question to you is that how are you with integrating some technology from that perspective? Because we're living in that kind of age right now. How are you feeling about that? Are you utilizing it? Is AI starting to work in your world a little bit? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, look, AI, the big thing with AI, everybody say, oh, it's replacing this, is replacing that. But it ain't going nowhere. You got to embrace it. So to answer your question, I'm embracing it. I'm excited about all that it can do. I don't think it'll ever replace me as a physical DJ because people want to learn. But there are some tools, like you said, there's some tools in AI that's going to streamline, going to help you minimize your time in terms of some things you want to mix or blend together, because AI is phenomenal and it is heavily being utilized in the music industry now. It's kind of like auto-tunes was when it first entered. You remember everybody was mad because them young, they can't sing, they using auto-tunes. But now it's how you laughing because everybody was afraid of auto-tunes. Yeah. But now you learn how
I've never owned one, never. Yeah. But I know it's out there, and obviously some of the people have some of the biggest records use them. Right. So you answered my question that yes, you are using technology.
Yep.
I'm using AI right now. The ad I sent you that we drafted for yours, that came ChatGPT. He did it for me about 20, 30 seconds, made my life a little easy. And when he said everything, come see DJ Silk and all. Thank you, Chat. Thank you, Chat. That was perfect. Now, let me tell you something. I'm working on a new book right now.
Yeah.
And Miriam got about, boy, she really on a roll right now. She about to put one of them out there, but she's learned to work with, and don't get me wrong, Chat does not write the book for you. What Chat will do is elaborate on whatever your topic might be and what you want to do. And let me tell you something, man, that technology is something else.
It's something else.
And he will fine tune no matter how many times you send it back. He'll refine it and send it back to you. And right now, the way I'm working on this book and the way I'm getting the feedback, I'm halfway through it too. I'm halfway through the book, and I know I ain't gonna sit there and lie to you. Would I be halfway through it if I was just doing it myself?
No.
I ain't gonna even sit here and lie to you. So that's why I kind of say, let me just bring that up.
I love it. It's an important conversation. It's relevant and it's worth talking about it. Shout out to I see some people in the chat talking to us and everything. And
I'm trying to stay on point with our time. That I try not to get in the chats too much, but that's great that we got some people hollering at us like that.
I mention that because one of my biggest mentors unofficially is Kermit, Bridget's husband. They on the chat right now. Bridget Bridget Tate and Kermit. Kermit is my AI coach because he has turned me on to so much, and he's opened my perspective. So when I just want to
Kermit, I'm gonna be hollering at you, Kermit. She let it out the hat there now. So and he right down the street from me. So
he's incredible. But shout out to I got a Sorrow on here right now. I think that's Kamaya on there. And who else is that? And Hoover, and I know some other people in here. But anyway, we're gonna get back on point.
Yeah, but listen, I got to say this to you too, man. Now we have to, I don't get too deep about politics, but I do get deep about what's going on around us. And you are a voice.
Yes.
And I am a voice.
Yes.
And I'll tell people with quickness that we all should be cognizant of what's going on out here. And the reason why I'm saying that is that you got to create your own light under the sun. Of 47 and everybody in the big house up there doing some things that some people may be all happy about. And most of them are probably just people who are in business, because I've talked to many people who say they're just happy because my bottom line look good. But you see, a humanitarian cause that's from that perspective is too critical, because we just witnessed a shutdown. We just witnessed a few things, man, that the domino effect of it touched me, that people didn't have food to eat, people, and the kind of jobs that people have lost, the kind of things that have been cut out. I'm wondering in the grand scheme of things, how has that impacted you and your business? How have you been with dealing with the change in the temperament around the country, the change in how everybody's been highs and lows about this and that? And honestly speaking, it really has, been a very interesting ride with just the, how do I say it, the political roller coaster that everybody's going to feel it in this country, and I'm wondering, I always say to myself, with your voice, like I use my voice like this. I'll tell people quickly. I say, if you believe that something should be changed, if you believe something shouldn't happen, if you believe there should be a difference in where things are and what's going on, then you should be able to voice your opinion. That's we have that freedom of speech to be able to do that. But the scariest part of it all is that we seem to be in a very fragile state. It seems people are very apprehensive about what they feel like. For me, I'm always saying, man, war is senseless. I've never been an advocate for guns, and I never will be. And I'm not against anyone that owns one, because I know all of do you realize in this country, domestic killing is the number one? Because somebody got access to guns. There are things that are going on that are crazy or because of that. So I say to people, voice your opinion, do what you want to do, be what you want to be. But when you get a platform and you can have and I always tell my kids, everybody got impact, use it. So DJ Silk, I want to say to you tonight that you got a platform. I hope when you're out there, you're voicing your opinion about who you are, what you do, where you're going, how you do it, and more importantly, that you be continuously do this. And I'm going to end it on a very, very positive note. You are passion. You are purpose. You knocked on the door, and the universe has been giving you possibilities. And all I can say to you is this: you just keep on pushing, my sister. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Oh man, thank you so much for just sharing your story, how it happened for you, and now when you, like I say, like Paul Harvey, when you told me the real story. And I said, I'm talking to a true musician right here. So she got ears for real.
For real.
She can tune up a flute and play it. She can read music.
Okay.
I can sit there and rattle it all off of you, but let me tell you something, man. The fact that you've come 360 and that you're still sitting here with me right now, 20 years later.
Yes.
I'm sitting here with you right now, 40 years later. My first gig with my sister when I was 16 years old, you never would have told me out there at the Oasis Club. You know something? And this is the truth. I went to Lato High School and was a keynote speaker just a few months ago. And let me tell you something, man. My first little gig we done in front of kids and stuff was on the courtyard at that school. So imagine since the 70s, I come all the way full circle and go back to that school, DJ Silk.
Love it.
And I stood out there, man, and a brother had a moment.
Wow, of course.
I really had a moment. And when I realized that, wow, you're coming back to the school. I had been there a little earlier because I was invited to come there and meet the baseball coach. That my brother's son Nevin is a baseball coach at Lato High School. And once again, I want to bring it up: relationships, currency. And I'm gonna keep harping on that to people that get out there, network, let somebody know who you are. Let's inspire somebody. Let them know. And you're doing that. And
yes.
And if it hadn't been for the realities of a relationship, I don't think you and I would be talking right now.
Correct.
We wouldn't be talking.
My
sister knew you. She introduced me to you. We got together. And then the next thing, you came to my mind one day. They called me because I get calls for other types of talent through my entertainment company.
Correct.
And I said, oh man, I know one more call can get this gig. And you've been, that's been what, 2 or 3 years now?
Absolutely.
Every Labor Day, every 4th of July. I'm not lying to nobody out there. When you love it, it's going to love you back. Go out there and network who you are to someone. Remember, this show is to inspire you, to empower you by people who are just like you and I. I tell people all the time, man, and this is not my master class, and I'm not going to get into it, but boy, let me tell you something, man. You got to go through to get to. And you share with me tonight, you've had your challenges, you've had your highs, you've had your lows, and you make it work. So I'm going to give you the last words. What do you want to tell people about? If you got a website or if they can contact you, your social media, go ahead and get those unconditional plugs in, DJ Silk.
Yes, and thank you all the things you said. And I really appreciate you, my brother. And I'm at DJ Silk 143 on Instagram and Facebook, DJ Silk. So I just enjoyed being here tonight. And shout out to my top dog back here. That's DJ Pup on the wall. Y'all can't see him. Baddest dog DJ in the land. But anyway, I like to have fun and be silly. But I really appreciate being here. And hey, let's keep doing what we're doing. And like you said, humanitarianism is very important. In spite of all the evil and things that are going on, there's still good beings like us that's spreading joy through our talent. And somebody on here listening, whatever you do it from the heart and spread joy and be the best human you can be.
You know something? I start the music and I ended with the music. And I want to say this to you, boy, you just personally, you laid it all out there. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, man. Do it with passion. Live it like it's your purpose. And the universe is going to always give you possibilities. I call it my P3 theory. And once again, I had to get a little swag on before we get off this thing tonight, you know.
Let me go mix right quick.
Hey, I left the forum open for you if you felt like it. And guess what? I'm going to invite you back. And the next time you come back, we're going to have you have a moment like that. But tonight, it's been out of sight. The GG Fight is every Tuesday night. And tonight, I'm so honored to have had DJ Silk. Thank you so much. And hey, I hope everybody heard her social media plug. I hope everybody knows that if you need a great DJ, if you need a great personality, like I told you, I met her right here in my house and she blew up the whole joint.
Thank you, Greg.
No, you know, you did it, baby.
I appreciate it.
You be blessed. Keep doing what you're doing, DJ. I love you.
Thank you. Love you, brother.
No doubt. All right. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow night, I want to see somebody in the house for the Scribe Masterclass. Come on out. Coming up in 2 weeks, we're going to have a youth empowerment group on the GG Factor telling us what they're doing in the youth market. You don't want to miss that. But I want to say once again, tomorrow night is about being grateful. Tomorrow night is about Thanksgiving. How much we really have to be so grateful for. I'm grateful for this very moment. And DJ Silk, I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Be blessed. Until the next time.
Until next time.
Hang on a minute with me.